Welcome back to PerpTech Daily. I'm Aaron. In today's episode, as always, we're going to be covering Hyperliquid and Lighter. In today's topic, we're going to be talking more about Robinhood chain and a recent article that came out from the Lighter team and some really cool Hyperliquid stats. Let's get straight into it. As always, the price of Hyperliquid sitting at around $68, looking super good. It's been holding in this range now for over a month, and really, I think it's just a matter of time before it eventually makes that, move higher and probably goes to $100 or something like that. But as always, we have no clue where the price is going in the short term. Bitcoin sitting around $62,000. S&P 500 sitting around 7,500. Not sure if this will ever have a correction, at least under the Trump administration, like a real correction. We'll see. It probably will at some point. Maybe not under President Trump. Who knows? Lighter sitting around 240. It's starting to come back. Let's go to the 1 hour chart here. You can see it's bounced a bit. We'll see what happens from here and like the macro and stuff. But let's go to our first thing. As always, in the next 24 hours, there's going to be about $1.5 million of TWAP buy pressure on Hyperliquid, as shown over here. Once again, chart looks super duper strong. All right. Now, when we go to protocol fees, Hyperliquid has done $1.5 million worth of protocol fees in the last 24 hours, which is super good. Pretty standard day, but it's absolutely ridiculous how 1.5 million is a standard day for Hyperliquid. Now let's go to the newest feature on Hyperliquid's eco application. By the way, this application is absolutely awesome. Seeing with Hyperscan and the Lighter protocol scanner thing made by Delphi. What they just put this out here, this revenue stack thing, which is super cool. It's kind of breaking down the all-time revenue, where it's actually coming from when it comes to Hyperliquid. So you can see perps here. The perp native dex of Hyperliquid is about 91% of the revenue. It's a good visual model. You can see HIP3 is about 1.6%, spot 3.3%, priority fees 30.3%, listing auctions 2%, and Hyper EVM gas 1%. And also here's a stablecoin thing. But I think this is a super cool feature they just added and everything. Really cool stuff. And it highlights and visualizes what's actually happening in terms of Hyperliquid protocol and stuff like that. But perps obviously being the big winner. And if you're watching this channel, you're probably super bullish on the perp scene. But let's go to our next thing. Lighter's done about $1.3 billion worth of volume in the last 24 hours. It's going to be interesting to see how much the open interest sitting around 900 million. It's going to be interesting to see how much the open interest can grow over the next year, and the volume as well, the liquidity within Lighter. I think Lighter is going to be a slower cook than Hyperliquid in the sense of things kind of taking off, and things are taking off with Lighter, of course, but I think it's, going to take regulations coming in, clarity, and all these things, which I believe Lighter will get, to really make it, rage and go to a 10 billion market cap or whatever. We'll see where it goes in the future. But anyways, news for Hyperliquid. Bitwise says Hype has officially joined BitW, the Bitwise 10 crypto index ETF. Yeah, pretty not shocked to see this. I mean, I think we can all agree at this point Hyperliquid's arguably the best project in crypto right now, in total. Now let's take a look at this post from Viking Hyperliquid. This really cool post he shows. So he says, Hyperliquid continues to dominate its competitors day after day. Over the last 24 hours, Hyperliquid generated $2.4 million in fees and recorded $63 million in net inflows, 2.5 times more fees in Tron, 4 times more fees in Solana, 5.8 times more fees in BNB chain, 8 times more fees in Ethereum. Trader choose Hyperliquid and liquidity follows. And that's really the big thing that I will say Hyperliquid has over Lighter is just real greater revenue and fees. And, the Lighter team acknowledges this too. I think we can all acknowledge, and of course, by market cap, Lighter sitting around, 500 million, and Hyperliquid is sitting around 18 billion. Hyperliquid is a much bigger protocol, and that's kind of where I want to see Lighter catch up to. Lighter is doing a great job in terms of partnerships and everything. And I do believe Lighter can get to where Hyperliquid currently is, and I believe Hyperliquid will get bigger from here. But it would be awesome to see in the next couple of years, which I do believe will happen, Lighter, get closer to Hyperliquid in terms of how much money they're actually making and stuff. Lighter's making a lot of money for a protocol. Don't get me wrong, but Hyperliquid is, pretty far ahead and stuff like that. So not that far ahead. I think it's, Lighter could possibly close the gap quicker and faster than people may believe. But Anyways, to our next thing, Lighter listed the Cash Cat token yesterday. And this is the main meme coin runner of the Robinhood chain. And the Robinhood chain, this is a big deal for Lighter. And I think the Robinhood chain, in terms of L1s and L2s that are actually trying to compete with Solana in the meme coin space, I think it's going to be the biggest competitor. I think it's going to do better than Base. I think it's going to do better than BNB. And the reason why is Robinhood has massive distribution angles. They have distribution into users who are not from the crypto space. So normally when another L1 or another L2 gets dropped, it's literally the same fucking people that are using the new chain. And with the Robinhood chain, I believe in the future that they will actually attract new liquidity into crypto just because of their distribution. Now, when you look at what's going on with the Robinhood meme coins, so Robinhood's having a big meme coin season right now. The Solana meme coins are dumping. So the people who are trading the Robinhood meme coins right now are actually the same people who trade Solana meme coins. So right now, I don't see really too much evidence to say that Robinhood's brought a ton of new users in the crypto. And once again, Bitcoin's at 63K. So obviously retail's not going to be here at the bottom. That's just how it works. We know how this goes. When the price of Bitcoin's at all-time highs, all coins are moving up, that's when retail flocks in. And that's when I think Robinhood's really, really, really going to shine. And Robinhood chain is bullish for Lighter because what is the perp dex of Robinhood chain? It is Lighter. What is the perp dex that's going to be using the Robinhood chain wallet? Lighter. So I'm rooting for Robinhood chain. And I do believe it should hold. I don't see any reason why it can't be number 2 under Solana in terms of like the whole meme coin thing. I don't understand what Base would have over it, but yeah, super good stuff. Now let's take a look at this. Lighter put out a technical article, and I don't want to get too into this because let's just be honest here, it's kind of boring. But it says chasing microseconds, Lighter's latency engineering. So it's basically going over some technical improvements that happened. This is important to see, and I'm glad they're posting this. And this is one thing I really do like about the Lighter team is how much they're posting. How much they're telling us what the fuck is going on. So really cool stuff here. Dual environment monitoring, all this stuff. I don't want to go super deep into it because it's a bunch of really like in-depth things. But basically, the protocol got better. That's all you need to know, and that's pretty cool and stuff. Super glad to see that, and I think I would love to have someone on the Lighter team eventually on my YouTube channel. So we'll see if that ever happens at some point. But that's kind of all we got for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment. We're covering the perp tech scene daily. Super excited. And also, I probably will start including some other stuff, like just talking about maybe meme coins a little bit, because everyone who's watching this probably does like doing meme coins and stuff, and it is pretty relevant. Not like maybe just like a small segment at like the end we talk about what meme coins are going on. But yeah, make sure you join my free Discord, follow me on X, and see you tomorrow.